Grade 12, we have arrived at the final pad drawing, which is the two-point perspective of our building, which we have designed. So I've already taken the liberty of drawing a border and a title bar at the bottom, and we are going to use the same scale as the final design, which is a scale of 1:100. So what we need to do is basically to set up the two-point perspective drawing with your picture plane, your horizon line, as well as your ground line. And then we're going to use our final design, which is that there. We are going to make that specific point the lowest point, where we are going to tilt this on an angle of 30 degrees, and that's going to be on an angle of 60 degrees, with that specific point touching the picture plane, which also now becomes your height line. We are going to push this up as far as possible. We don't need any detail on this side. The only detail we need is the detail of the depth from this side and the entire length of your design. We are not in need of this side here and that specific side there. So let us set up this page very quickly. From the border line, I'm going to ask you to measure down 160 millimeters. So if you measure down 160 from your border, that is where your point is going to be. And then you are going to draw a faint line for now. And that line will become your picture plane, PP. Then of course I'm going to use this border line right here as my ground line. So I'm going to write the GL, because space is going to be a little bit of a problem. So we need to work within the designated space, and we're using a scale of 1:100. I am, however, going to ensure that this line actually just comes down like that, because that's going to be my height line. That specific point here, which crosses my ground line, I'm going to label that as my station point, which is right there. Then I'm going to draw from this particular corner, or from that particular point, an angle line of 30 degrees that way, faintly of course, and I'm going to draw 60 degrees along that side. So what I'm basically doing is, as I explained, that now becomes the point on the picture plane. So let me set up just the block. We don't need to do the inside, and we will show the roof there as well. So here, learners, I've set up my top view, which consists of my roof, which I have there with my roof apex and the slight overhang on both sides, front and the back, and the roof covering half of my deck. This is the half that's not covered. And just keep in mind there are going to be some windows and doors here which I'm going to put in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure the distance here and just apply all these distances away here by just marking it. I'm not actually going to put in the windows, I'm just going to mark it where it's going to be and label it window, door, so that I know when I'm going to project it down what I'm dealing with. Then learners, of course I need some heights, and for that I'm going to need this view over here with all the dimensions that I have here, which is my northeast elevation, and I'm going to ensure that I redraw that, just the structure basically on this side here, so that I can project my heights onto my main line and off to my vanishing points. So that will be here on this side. Then I need to draw my horizon line as well. From the ground line, I'm going to have my horizon line up from the ground line at 17 millimeters, and that's the line that I'm going to take right through. The reason why I have 17 millimeters is the fact that the normal height of a person is 1.7 viewing this particular building, and the eye level would be then 1.7, which I have now scaled down to 1:100, which is basically going to be 17 millimeters. That is the reason for the horizon line, and I'm also going to label that HL right there. Now I'm going to set up this here, and then eventually I will make sure that I construct the 2-point perspective drawing, and then also enhancing it with color so that it becomes a very artistic figure in our pet.